Today on CCX News, Unsolved Arson. More than 2 months since a destructive fire in Golden Valley, the award to catch whoever did it has increased. That fire happened during the early morning hours of January 28th at an office complex along Interstate 394. As Delane Cleveland reports, a conservative think tank that was destroyed in that fire is now offering a six-figure reward.
For most of 2024,
we've been displaced for months now, since January 28th.
Bill Walsh has been an employee without an office. The building where he worked for years is now closed to the general public.
No one's in this building and probably won't be for quite some time because of the damage.
In January, fires believed to be intentionally set destroyed the Golden Valley headquarters of Take Charge Minnesota, the Upper Midwest Law Center, and Walsh's organization, Center of the American Experiment.
It's kind of a reminder of how crazy, the crazy circumstance that we're in, that someone would actually take the steps to start an arson fire in your office and displace us.
In February, the conservative think tank announced a $15,000 reward for anyone with information leading to an arrest and conviction. Now they're offering significantly more.
We have had no progress on catching the people that did this, and so the discussion was, should we up the reward, try and get it back in the news, try and get more people to find out about it. So the reward has been up to $50,000 if we catch one person, $100,000 if there are two people caught, arrested, convicted.
Walsh knows that someone somewhere knows something about what happened that January night. The hope is that the reward encourages folks to speak up.
You shouldn't be able to do this kind of thing and then get away with it.
A spokesperson from the ATF says that they have no information they can share on the investigation. Meanwhile, anyone with information is encouraged to call the FBI. Reporting in Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The Center of the American Experiment employees have worked from home since the fire. However, they plan to move into a new office in Minnetonka later this month. Golden Valley police are still searching for suspects after shots were fired in Lions Park early Sunday morning. Golden Valley Police Chief Virgil Green says 3 teenagers were shot Sunday at around 4 in the morning. One was found in Golden Valley, one in Brooklyn Park, and another in Minneapolis. None of their wounds were life-threatening. He says police believe all 3 were connected to this incident.
Large groups of juveniles are showing up at parks. Even in Minneapolis, after midnight to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, where a large gathering of people are there, and sometimes they get into altercations, and these types of incidents happen.
There is no threat to the neighborhood. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation. So if you live in the neighborhood and have any information about the incident, Green asks that you contact Golden Valley Police. Brooklyn Park Police, meanwhile, say one of the injured teens connected to the Golden Valley shooting case was located near Regent Avenue and Brookdale Drive. Police had received a report of someone with a gunshot wound to the leg. According to Brooklyn Park Police, the injured teen and a friend who had provided a ride were not cooperative with officers. Brooklyn Park Police are also investigating a case of shots fired in a city park. Police responded late Saturday night to Willowstone Park on the east side of the city near the river. When officers arrived, police say multiple vehicles left the scene quickly. One of those vehicles tried to escape into Champlin but crashed at a roundabout. 2 teens were arrested and 2 guns were recovered. Police also arrested 2 other teens at the park who also had guns on them. Police found considerable evidence of gunfire, recovering more than 30 shell casings and park shelter damage. After interviewing candidates this weekend, the Robbinsdale School Board has suspended its search for a new superintendent.
I believe that for this go-round, the candidates, although good, strong candidates in their own right, nice people, impressive, the fit just wasn't there. And it just really comes down to that.
The school board interviewed 6 candidates for superintendent over the weekend. They had planned to pick one or several candidates to move ahead for second interviews. But after hours of deliberation, the board did not have unanimous frontrunners. In a 5-2 vote, they decided to suspend the search. They'll discuss next steps at an upcoming work session.
Imagine being that new superintendent coming in, knowing that half of your bosses don't want you there. That is not a level playing field for any candidates. That is a recipe for failure.
Former Superintendent David Engstrom and the district parted ways in September of last year. Coming up this week, don't be surprised to hear this sound. Outdoor warning sirens will sound across the state on Thursday as part of a statewide tornado drill for Severe Weather Awareness Week. Sirens will sound at 1:45 and again at 6:45 p.m. Thursday. During severe weather, sirens typically sound for about 3 minutes. Hennepin County activates its sirens when there is a tornado warning or sustained straight-line winds of more than 70 miles per hour. Prom season is coming up fast, and a dress drive is hoping to make that event magical for more students at Park Center. Through Say Yes to the Prom Dress, Park Center students will get the chance to shop for prom free of charge. Organizers hope to collect 400 dresses for its April 17th event. Park Center counselor Emily Joer says this is a way to make prom possible for kids who might not be able to afford it.
Some of the kids that I send through or get prom dresses, their lives might be stressful, they might have things going on, and this is an opportunity for them to dress up, feel awesome for a night, and just be a kid and participate in a really fun high school activity.
You can help. If you've got a clean dress or shoes to donate, you could bring it to Park Center during school hours or to Taj Salon and Spa in Brooklyn Park. Dwyer asks that you bring in donations by April 15th so it's ready for that event on April 17th.
Maple Grove High School football started varsity play in the fall of 1996. Just 2 men have been head coaches of the Crimson on the sidelines since that fall, Craig Hansen and Matt Lombardi. Monday afternoon, the program's 3rd head coach was introduced.
So our coach for next year is Adam Spurrell.
It was an emotional moment when Adam Spurrell was introduced, and moments later, too, when he spoke to the Crimson players for the first time as their head coach.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've been dreaming about this opportunity for a while, and now it's here.
Spurrell has been with the Maple Grove program for 19 years, most recently as the team's defensive coordinator. We had a chance to talk with him after the ceremony.
The culture that we have built here at Maple Grove isn't by accident, and so I'm looking forward to just continuing on with that pattern that we have going on, and this what we have established already as a program.
The rest of the staff that was under Coach Lombardi this last season, you anticipate most or all of those guys coming back? Do you look at getting some outside hires as a coordinator, or what's kind of the process now for the assembling a coaching staff?
Yeah, I have already communicated with many of the coaches on staff, and many of them are planning on continuing to stay with us. There's only a couple that I honestly need to reach out to, and I'll be calling them, if not today, tomorrow. And so.
How about your role as far as your defensive coordinator? How does that change now that you're the head coach?
I will continue to run our defense. I have great coaches on my side of the ball, and so I know that they'll be able to help me. And then offensively, we've got guys on our staff that already know what we want to run, and so it'll be a process trying to work that out. But I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
It's been a whirlwind couple of days for Adam Spurrell. On Saturday, he was honored as the Butch Nash Award winner for Outstanding Assistant Head Coach in Minnesota high school football, and then received the phone call Sunday morning extending him the offer as the Crimson head coach. The Armstrong baseball team is hoping to move up in the Northwest Suburban Conference standings this spring. Here's Jay Wilcox with a preview of the Falcons.
As we move through early April, they're getting down to business at Armstrong baseball.
We've really been working us hard. I've been liking it a lot. We've been getting a lot of practices in, and we're working hard, and we're improving fast.
From a pitching standpoint, I think we had a lot of guys who I didn't expect to be as good as they are, but they've really stepped up, and they look like they're going to be key pieces of our rotation.
We're seeing a lot of what we expected. We got some young kids that have really stepped up their game in the offseason, working hard. We got a nice group of returners that can be leaders, and that's a really important thing to have when you have a young group of kids, especially a younger pitching staff.
The Falcons have a handful of returners from a team that was 5-7 in Northwest Suburban Conference games last season. First baseman pitcher Dayton Franke is a senior in his 4th varsity season and is committed to play for South Dakota State. His brother Dawson is a solid shortstop. Harrison Boughton returns as a catcher and infielder, while lefty Sammy Schultz is one of the few returning pitchers on an inexperienced staff. The Falcons know they'll be in for some tough tests in conference play, but they like it that way.
That's the best part about playing in Northwest Suburban. It's always competitive, and I think we're going to have a lot of competitive teams this year, and I'm just looking forward to play some competitive baseball.
As with all teams, Armstrong's dealt with weather uncertainty, with their first couple of games being postponed and many practices indoors.
I mean, that's Minnesota baseball for us. You never know what to do, but you always got to come with the mentality that you're ready to play wherever you're at. And today it's in the gym, and we're going to be ready to play.
I was looking outside. We saw the snow. It was a little deflating, I will say. But you got to keep a positive mindset. It's to be expected. You have to expect the unexpected.
Really got to teach them a little bit about mental toughness, and you might be inside, we might be outside. Bring everything you got, because we don't know where we're going to be today. If it starts snowing like it did this morning, you got to kind of roll with the punches, and that's what we're going to do to try and get better every day.
Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.